The first thing and the most important thing is your introduction. Now, if your all the answers start with a definitional introduction, that means you are making your answer extremely monotonous. After a certain point of time, introduction will not fetch you zero point 0.5 marks extra. It may not deduct your marks, but it will not give you a plus zero point 0.5 marks. So, what are the ways we can vary our introduction? If there is a question on, say, for example, corruption, corruption is the manifestation of the failure of core values in the society. This is a PYQ. In your opinion, what measures can be adopted to uplift the core values in the society? Now, the very simple method is that you can give a standard definition. Corruption is the misuse of entrusted power for personal gain. You have been interested to do good for people. You are in social justice department, say for example, but you are doing your own social welfare, often indicating a breakdown in fundamental social values such as integrity, accountability, and fairness. This is the most simplest method. I'm not saying you that you will not use this method in any of the question, but we will mix it up. The second method is prepare some quotation, keyword wise quotation, and you don't need to prepare. I will be providing all these materials to you people. You just have to utilize them. Now, what quote I can use, what thought provoking idea I can use here? So, there is a very good quotation. Every act of corruption is a theft from those who are hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and not clothed. So the resources are snatched from the last man standing. This can be a very thought provoking quotation, and it can fetch you zero point 0.5 marks extra. Now, if you want to make your 100, marks to 130, these are the changes, subtle changes, which will help you. The third method is, which has been used by many toppers. If you see from 2019 CSE topper, Vishaka Yadav, she got 162 marks. Pradeep Kumar was AIR 1. He also scored in 150s. And many other toppers. They were sometimes using anecdotal approach as well. Now, essay anecdotes which you are preparing can be compressed to 2, 3 lines and can be used as an introduction. How? In a small village, a dedicated teacher noticed her student beginning to cheat on exams and dismiss small dishonesties. You must have seen it. Okay, I am doing so. What is unique about it? Majority of the people are doing so. Chalta hai attitude. Now she realized that the younger generation was already normalizing corruption as just the way things are. The simple observation reflects a larger truth. When core values like integrity, honesty decline, corruption seeps into every layer of society. You must have seen people say that a little bit of amount of corruption is necessary for higher growth rate. Now, the countries who are in top among the corruption perception index, are they among high HDI? So, is there any correlation that the more you are corrupt, the better your HDI will be? There is no correlation. Most of the time, there is an inverse relationship. So, why it is happening? Because there is chalta hai attitude. Now, this is a very thought provoking start. You can't do it in every question, but if you can do it in 1 or 2 questions as well, it will help you immensely. Then, current affairs based. Sometimes the question that has been asked is very much related to any current scenario. If you can connect the dots, you will get more marks than others. So, recent high profile cases from financial frauds to misuse of public office highlight how deeply corruption affects governance and public trust. Now, these incidents underscores a breakdown of core societal values. The core societal values will be that if a person is honest, honest government servant, people will say him a madman. Okay, this is the perception that a government official should be a bit corrupt. If he's too honest, he will be called as a madman. Now, emphasizing the need for a moral and ethical revival in the society. Okay, not necessarily you need to name the case. You can also write in this manner where you are highlighting or you are clubbing some of the cases which have happened. You can be anonymous as well. And then there is a historical way to write introduction. So historically, civilizations like Rome and ancient India faced decline partly due to the erosion of ethical values. Now, illustrating that even if there is a big empire, it can collapse because of eroding values, which enhances corruption, misgovernance. We have a powerful example of Nanda dynasty. Nanda dynasty collapsed because of corruption, arrogance, and even though the dynasty was mighty, even the great Alexander was afraid by seeing the Dhananand's army. But because of arrogance, because of the corruption, And because of the disrespect of intellectual peoples like Acharya Chanakya, it collapsed. So even the mightiest of empire, even the mightiest of nation, if there is decline in core values, it will collapse. This is the historical way to write introduction. And then there is another method which is called as question based. Again, you are asking question and you are trying to attract the attention of examiner. Let me tell you, they are not checking your copies for 2 hours, 3 hours, or 4 hours. No, they are checking in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So you need to sell your answers. You need to make them realize that you are standing apart. You need to highlight your knowledge. And the best way to attract is your introduction. That's a very important part of your answer. So how I can write? What drives a society to tolerate corruption? What drives it? Is it simply the absence of strict laws? We have laws. We have perhaps one of the most stringent laws. Or could it be the erosion of core values like integrity, fairness, responsibility? Now, let us humbly attempt to address these questions and explore possible solutions. So, I have started with a thought provoking style. Now, you can also use Indian philosophy. Let me tell you, if you are using Western philosophy more, if in 70% of your questions, you are using more and more Western philosophy, and not Indian philosophy, you will lose 5 to 6 marks. Because we are writing Indian civil services examination, writing Sloka, writing Gita, writing Mahabharata, writing about some of the good stories of Upanishads, will always fetch you very high marks. So here, there is Dharmam Rakshati Rakshaka, given in Bhagavad Gita. This means Dharma protects those who protect it. Now, you must have seen people who, now we see that karma hits them back. You had made a system which is corrupt. Someday it will bite you or your family as well. So if you will protect the dharma, dharma will protect you. When we actively safeguard these principles, they safeguard society from corruption and injustice. Okay. And I have compiled the Indian philosophy document as well, which I will post in Telegram and WhatsApp both. Now, the second thing is, while I am awarding any marks to you, what is the last thing that I see? That is conclusion. So conclusion is the last thing. Even if your answer is not that captivating, my conclusion is very good. Still, you will get some 0.5 marks extra. Your answer is very good. Your conclusion is absurd. You will lose marks. So it is very important that your conclusion, how you are concluding, is giving some amount of thought-provoking idea. It is not just simply, hence, the integrity is very, very important for the perseverance of society and this. This is a very vague method. We can prepare. And ethics is very important. Ethics is the gateway to your journey, to your dream. It is a very important subject. Now, how we can write conclusion? The very simple method that you all use in most of the answer is summarizing. So, in conclusion, to address corruption, it is essential, first of all, to restore the core values of integrity, responsibility, and fairness in society. If the streets are dirty, who is responsible? Is it only the government? Is it only the MCD? Is it only the people who are supposed to clean? No, it is the collective responsibility of the citizens. So responsibility has to be taken by everyone. And fairness in society. Fairness is very important. If a person is not treated justly, he will not act in just manner in the future as well. That is why you will see villains are not made. Villains are not born, they are made. Why so? Because they were not treated justly by the society. So in future, they will act in a deviant manner. There is a high probability. Now, this can be achieved through education. Education, as said by Mahatma Gandhi, should not only touch the mind, not only the brain cells, but also your heart. It is very important that education is developing compassion, as said by Mahatma Gandhi. Vaishnav janta tine kahiye je peer parai jane re. That means the God is like the virtuous person who understands the pain of others. This is the statement of Mahatma Gandhi. And strong leadership and institutional reforms. If the institutions are eroded, even if the honest person enters the system, he will not be able to make the change. If the institutional mechanism rewards the corrupt, how will the honest make a difference? So this is very, very important. So this is how you write a simple conclusion. But there is advanced method. This is called as reflective conclusion. What is reflective conclusion? You are ending with a reflection, ending with a takeaway. So if we are to create a just society, we must reflect on how each of us contribute to upholding core values. It's not only the government responsibility, but also ours to cultivate a society rooted in righteousness and integrity. And this is part of our constitution. This is part of our constitution morality. fundamental duties. This is part of that. It is collective responsibility. If communalism is spreading, it is not just spreading because of a hate speech given by a politician. It is also being spread because people have the communal bitterness and hatred against other community. It is just cultivated by the politicians. This is called as reflection, thought-provoking reflection or question that invites deeper contemplation. That is also one of the style. And the third is solution-oriented conclusion. You are providing some solution to the problem. Now, to eradicate corruption, society must prioritize the implementation of strict ethical standards at all levels, not just one level. Invest in moral education and strengthen the judicial system. Justice should be done, justice should be seen to be done, and justice should be speedy. All things are important. These measures will help restore the integrity that forms the foundation of a thriving society. Then, call to action conclusion, which is urging to take action or change the perspective. Now it is time to take responsibility for nurturing the core values of fairness, transparency, and accountability in society. Only when we collectively embrace these principles can we hope to overcome corruption and build a better future. There is a beautiful quotation given by Martin Luther King. I have a dream where my four children will not be judged by the skin of their, the color of their skin, but by their virtues, by their wisdom, by their intelligence. Now, this is a thought provoking idea. And many of you use these in essays as well. If you are preparing ethics in this manner, it will give you dividend even in essay preparation. I will be taking up a session on essay as well because these two are the major, most important part if you want to score a rank in top 50. These two are extremely important apart from your optional. Inspiring conclusion. So the battle against corruption is long and difficult one. It is not easy. You cannot make a law and say that now, from now onwards, there is no corruption. But by fostering a culture of honesty, empathy, and selflessness, we can rebuild the moral fabric of society and pave the way for a future where integrity triumphs. As our emblem says, Satyamev Jayate, truth always triumphs. So if we have to create that core, we need to foster a culture of honesty, empathy, and selflessness. As said by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the mother is the first teacher. No? The home is the place where the basic ideas, basic values, basic virtues are developed. If your parents are saying, okay, if someone is coming, tell him that I'm not present, and he's present, you are learning to tell lies. If he is overspeeding, if he's overlooking red lights, you will also do it. Any amount of lecture or preaching will not work if you have not seen these things done by your own parents. That's the first school. Then you go to school, your entire concentration is on ratification, but not on cultivating values, not on giving, like if you go in Finland, so if they have to eradicate plastic, there will not be any plastic in the classroom. Now, this will develop far better value than just teaching plastic does this, plastic does that. Experiential learning. That's very, very important. Then philosophical, you can use philosophy. Okay, you can use philosophy like as the Bhagavad Gita advises. Ma gradaha tasya visad dhanam. What does it mean? Do not covet anyone's wealth. We have philosophy like aparigraha in Jainism, non-possession. We have different philosophies which you can use. True prosperity lies not in material wealth, but in the purity of values. Corruption rooted in greed, as said by Mahatma Gandhi. It has enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed. It can be only eradicated when society upholds integrity, fairness, and selflessness. This is a philosophical conclusion. You can use multiple philosophy here. Or example-based or best practice-based conclusion can also be written. A compelling example is the transformation of Singapore. Singapore once, before Lee Kuan, they used to dream that once Singapore will become like Calcutta. This is the speech. Now in the present, the world wants to become like Singapore. Why? Because of one leader, Lee Kuan. By upholding strict ethical standards and prioritizing transparency, Singapore became one of the least corrupt nations globally. This is a very good way to write conclusion. Use a best practice. And thus, your Niti Aayog ka best practices can be used in case studies, can be used in conclusion.